so sometimes things are tricky, you know what I mean? And it's a little bit more difficult than just making the fight happen. But like I said, I'm pushing to make the biggest and best fights happen. And
could the feared Mexican powerhouse, the same fighter who spent years pursuing a showdown with Canelo, really have walked away from a massive opportunity to face the new pound-for-pound king? Terence Crawford?
Turkey tweeted after the Canelo Crawford fight, asking like, hey, could you maybe come down to 168?
But just as the buzz began to build, David Benavidez himself was the one to shut it all down. The explanation he offered caught everyone off guard. Yet behind that surprising statement lies a deeper, strategic decision, one that could reshape everything we thought we understood about his journey. This wasn't just another business move. It was a defining moment that closed one chapter and opened another. Benavidez wasn't backing away. He was repositioning himself for a new kind of war. On September 13th, the boxing world was on fire. Terence "Bud" Crawford had done the impossible, moving up in weight and dismantling the iconic Canelo Álvarez in breathtaking fashion.
He hurt Canelo a couple of times, and he looked spectacular. Congratulations to Terence Crawford for that great performance, and man, it was a great fight.
Were you expecting more from Canelo?
I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting Canelo to knock out Crawford, to be honest with you, because it's a three-weight divisions. Well, he did fight one time the higher division, but and to me, it's three weights, you know. He had to go up a lot in weight, and that's what I was expecting. But at the end of the day, I got to give respect to Canelo. He has done so much in boxing that it will be hard for somebody else to achieve and make. He trained hard, and he said that he tried, but the body did not respond. And I've been saying that, the body is worn out. Canelo is young, but in boxing life, he's worn out.
As the boxing world tried to absorb Crawford's brilliant performance, His Excellency Turki Alalshik quickly reignited the excitement. A single post on social media asked a simple question: can David Benavidez still make 168 pounds? And just like that, a fantasy matchup caught fire. Benavidez, the undefeated two-time champion with a fearsome record of 30 victories and 24 knockouts, had long been viewed as the division's nightmare, the man Canelo supposedly avoided. A showdown between Crawford's precision and Benavidez's raw aggression suddenly felt inevitable. The fans were hungry for it, the money was guaranteed, and the sport's most powerful promoter was openly stirring the pot.
What I said to you earlier, I think Terence is really funny. I love the way he lives his life. I love the way he brings his kids. If you watch his kids with the wrestling and stuff like that, he's just a winner. And I feel that, you got guys who are really, really, really good, and they're not really hell-bent on becoming a star. I put you in that category. I put Terence in that category. Maybe Shakur, where they feel like they don't really want to, Terence ain't bothered about going to premieres and, being on the front cover of magazines and stuff like that. But unfortunately, in the business, we have to try and make sure he has that kind of value commercially. So it's getting the narrative and the moments right to just showcase his personality a little bit.
But what began as a dream matchup quickly hit an unexpected wall. David Benavidez himself put an end to the swirling rumors with a statement that left no room for doubt. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, he made his stance crystal clear. "I'm finished with super middleweight," he declared. The message was simple, direct, and final.
Bro, my plan is after this fight, I want to go down to 154. Nah, bro, I'm done with cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity, though. Yes, I said cruiserweight.
"I want to take a moment to give full credit to Crawford," Benavidez said. What he did in that fight was incredible. One of those performances that reminds you why he's among the all-time greats. Let the man have his moment. As for me, I'm not looking to face Crawford. And I'm definitely not planning a return to 168 pounds.
Wait, I want to take this opportunity, though. Yes, I said cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity to, congratulate Crawford. He put a hell of a performance. He's up there in the Mount Rushmore of the greatest fighters of all time. And, let Crawford do his thing, bro. At the end of the day, I have no interest in fighting Crawford. I have no interest in going down to 168. It's nice that it would be dope winning all titles, but I'm way past that at 168.
The message couldn't have been clearer. This wasn't a ploy or negotiation tactic. It was a firm statement of intent. Benavidez put an end to any remaining speculation when he added, "I wouldn't even go back down to 168 for Canelo. I'm just being real with you." That's Crawford's division now, not mine. My time there is finished.
You know, the only reason I wouldn't even go down to 168 for Canelo, and I'm just being real with you, and let Crawford do his thing, let him have his, let him. I want to give his flowers, man, because he's a great fighter, man. When there's no other fighter that's coming up from 147 to beat a type of fighter like Canelo at 168, and Crawford, he's one of the greatest of all time. So, I have no interest in going down to 168. I'm not saying that I'm scared of Crawford or whatever, but Crawford's a man at 168. That's his weight class. I'm done with 168.
When asked if a jaw-dropping $120 million offer could tempt him to return, Benavidez didn't hesitate. His response was an unshakable no. This decision, he made clear, wasn't driven by money. It was about something far deeper.
Boxing is a business, David. If they throw 100 million, 120 million to go down for either or, would you second?
120 million sounds good, but honestly, at the end of the day, no. No. But they won't give 120 million. I don't even think Canelo got 120 million for fighting Crawford, to be honest with you. But no, man, I'm done with 160.
The real reason behind Benavidez's decision runs deeper than the struggle of making weight. It's a calculated move, a shift toward a new and even greater chapter in his career. He's not backing away from a challenge. He's sprinting toward a whole new battlefield.
They throw whatever money they want at me. And my job is not only to get the money. My job is to give myself the best chance to win and to give myself the best chance of looking good.
Benavidez has officially set up camp in the light heavyweight division, competing now at 175 pounds. His sights are locked on the elite of this new territory. First on the list, a high-stakes showdown against Britain's own Anthony Yarde. A clash set under the bright lights of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Let me know how this fight came about, because I was surprised that you went this route with Yarde.
Yeah, so there was a lot of options on the table. Obviously we wanted to get a great fight because the last fight with me and David Benavidez lived up to expectation. I think it exceeded expectations. So we wanted to give the fans a good fight. We were in line for Bivol for the belts, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So we were looking, to get a crowd-pleasing fight, and we're trying to fight the best in the division of 175. If it's not the champions, we want to fight the next best guys. We were looking at some options, but the only one that really manifested itself was the fight with Anthony Yarde, and I think this is a crowd-pleasing fight. Anthony Yarde, he's a great fighter. He still has a ton of fight in him. He's been in there with Artur, Beterbiev, Kovalev. So he's been up there with the top guys, and I feel like this is probably going to be the most he comes prepared for any fight, because he's lost his last two title fights, and I feel like he knows that this is probably the last opportunity. Not his last opportunity, but this is, he has to take advantage of this opportunity. So I'm not taking Anthony Yarde lightly. I know he has a dog in him. I know he has a lion in him, but, I have the lion in me as well. So this is going to be a perfect fight for my first fight with Riyadh season.
Benavidez. This isn't just another fight. It's his gateway to global stardom and a crucial step toward conquering the top tier of the 175-pound division.
Like I said, I'm very grateful for this, and not only am I grateful for fighting with Riyadh season, but I'm grateful because I don't want to just be a regional fighter. I want to be a worldwide fighter, and this is the first time that I'm going to fight in a different country, in Saudi Arabia. So this is going to be a little it's going to be a gift for the fans in Saudi Arabia. When I went over there the first time to see Bivol and Beterbiev fight, a lot of people show love, and I know I have a lot of fans out there. So, this is going to be a great fight for all the fans in Saudi Arabia.
Benavidez is confident that victory is only a matter of time, and when it comes, it will set him on a collision course with the division's most dangerous names, Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. For him, true legacy no longer lives in the weight class he once dominated, but in the challenge of toppling the giants that await at 175. He's no longer chasing checks. He's chasing greatness. And in his eyes, that greatness can only be found among the light heavyweight elite.
You're in this weight division, 175 pounds. You have the undisputed champion in Dmitry Bivol, who's reigning, but he has we think, a rubber match with Artur Beterbiev scheduled at some point. Has it been told to you, David, that if you win this fight, you're going to get a crack at either Bivol or Beterbiev?
Yeah, it's not, they haven't told me specifically that, but, just in the trajectory of what I'm doing, what I am, I'm world champion at 175 with the WBC, so it's inevitable. It's just when it's going to happen, I take my career one fight at a time, I don't really let other fights kind of get into my brain. You know, I'm getting ready for Anthony Yarde. I'm 100% focused on Anthony Yarde, and whatever comes next, comes next. But as for what I'm thinking of, you know, that's what else is there left? What other fights you guys want to see me fight? You know what I mean? Especially that we're here with Turki Al-Sheikh. We're getting these fights done. In my opinion, a fight with Beterbiev or Bivol is next. You know what I mean?
But Benavidez wasn't the only one shutting down talk of a potential super fight. In an unexpected twist, even Team Crawford showed little interest in the matchup. Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, quickly dismissed the idea that Benavidez was next in line. When pressed about the possibility, Bomac didn't mince words. No, that's not the fight we're looking at. He emphasized that after an intense 6-month grind preparing for Canelo, Crawford's immediate focus was on recovery, not another training camp.
You know what? We're going to get back in the gym. We're going to get back in the gym, and we're going to assess that. And, you know, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for like, probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
Bomac made it clear, his fighter needed rest, not another war. He wanted Crawford to take a step back, unwind, and reconnect with his family, instead of diving straight into another set of negotiations. His words revealed something deeper about the situation. This fight was never truly on the table for Team Crawford. The story wasn't about Benavidez dodging a challenge. It was about two elite fighters walking separate roads. Each focused on their own legacy, with no real intersection in sight.
Just feel the need for Benavidez.
Who? Canelo?
Turkey dropped. You know, people are talking about it.
Turkey hit it at that. He was like Benavidez.
Yeah, he
Turkey,
did.
so.
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terence Crawford.
No,
there.
man. Wait till that fight.
Maybe planning on vacating the belts.
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. You know, we just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym and do our thing.
To really grasp Benavidez's mindset, you have to go back to the shadow that's loomed over him for years: Canelo Álvarez. Bigger name, massive fan base, and the face of an entire division. For a long time, Benavidez was painted as the man Canelo never wanted to face. That long, exhausting pursuit left its mark. The endless waiting, the politics, the promises that never materialized, it all changed him. His move to light heavyweight isn't just a new chapter, it's closure. He's finished chasing ghosts.
You know, I think the type of person that Canelo is, he's going to be, oh, well, I didn't prepare for that fight, but now I'm prepared, this and that. You know, there's another storyline behind that. Because of the way he lost. He didn't go in there and get just beat up and destroyed the whole fight. It just didn't look like he prepared at all. And the fighter that was prepared, was Crawford. So, there could still be a big storyline, 175. Like I said, he could say, oh, well, now I'm motivated. Now I have a reason to train, now this and that. And it'll be a title fight for 175. So, everything is still possible right now. And Canelo, what is he, like 35?
I think 33.
33, yeah. And then imagine Crawford was 38. So, I mean, I don't, I'm not focused on Canelo. I got my own stuff going on, but if there might be a way to make that fight happen. So, like I said, I'm not really worried about that. I'm just thinking about the fighters I got to take out.
That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take on this story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.